I don't know why I'm about to do this to myself, but it's uh it's content. Hey y'all, gravity, any day above ground, live it. We're back. Oh man. I apologize in advance. We're about to do this. Now, you saw the title. I haven't made a thumbnail yet. I'll make it after this. But yeah. Vivek is on a apology tour. He's trying to run for governor of Ohio, and he's just going to streamers. He went to Hannity. I don't understand how you think that's going to win you the election when you need to go start talking to the people. You're a year away. Okay. But anyway, we're going to start off with Aiden Ross, and then we're going to go over to Andrew Schultz and No Jumper. Now, I'm going to leave this interactive for you guys. We can either watch the entire stream. That's about an hour and 37 minutes. Or we can watch this, what I found. I guess they just cut out parts of it and put up the full and put up a 30-minute video, I guess, with the highlights. We could do that. Because I really don't want to hear Vivek for about an hour and 37 minutes. But again, I also know that I'm probably losing something by only doing the 30 minutes. Because there's probably stuff in there that we forgot or we didn't hear or we won't hear. So I'll let y'all choose. Anyway, how are y'all doing? Figure I asked before we begin with this. Because I don't understand. Because I'll say this before we start. I don't think he understands that he's lost so much goodwill. I still think because he has a bunch of people still saying his name and being sycophants, that somehow it didn't affect him. And yes, I saw the clip, so I already know he's lying, especially when it comes to Axavant. But we'll see if they put it in here. I don't know if they did, but we'll see. So Wild J said you want the shorter one. ST Johnson said he wants the shorter one. And I don't really want to hear him for an hour and 37 minutes. Say less. And don't worry. I think with this channel, I only got 2,000 views on it. I don't think this person going to get pissed off at me for playing it. All right. You know what? We'll just do the shorter one. Screw it. Let's begin.
We're already on air. You can say what's up. Are you kidding? Yeah. Oh, it's good. It's pretty good. What's up, guys? Hey. Oh, man. What do we say? Let me get you a good chair. All right. Yeah. I got some books for you. Books? Yes. Oh, my God. 3 of my 4. Oh, my gosh. Thank you, man. I'm just kidding. Wait, did you actually write years ago? Yeah.
We'll do it like that.
I read 4 books. I had 3 of them at home when we were leaving this morning. That's so nice, man. Thank you so much. Thank you. Tell me what you think. Okay. What do you think? Well, I would thoughts evolve through them. Wait, they're not kind of have different spots. Woke Inc. Okay.
Woke Inc. He gave him his book. He gifted him his book. Okay.
My first one. That's your first one right here? Yeah, that was the hardest one to write because once you start doing it, then it becomes easier. This is my most recent. This one? Yeah.
A book called Truths. Okay.
Here, you sit in this chair. You sure? Yes, this is the. You get the Lamborghini chair. Okay. I'm yours. I'm gonna sit right here. It's okay. No, we get another one. You're my guest. I'll sit over here. It's like, like 20, 30 minutes. Yeah, just getting the Kickstarter. I got an event February 1st. I was gonna.
And he went and grabbed himself a folding chair. Okay.
Invite you to go to, but it's like a boxing. I'm starting my own boxing. It's downstairs? Yeah, the ring, we're setting it together. Yeah, man, we're trying to put it together. I was doing it last year, but I got shut down because I wasn't doing it right. Like, I wasn't doing it by... Shut down by who? The commission. They didn't like that commission. I had to get, like, basically, like, sanctioned. Like, which commission? Florida... State law or federal? Yeah, Florida Combat. I got served at my warehouse for doing unsanctioned boxing events a year ago. Yeah, so it took a while to get my license.
What is, actually, you got my attention there. So, because I am generally an anti-regulation guy. This is like an absolute necessity. So what is the necessity?
It's funny that a finance bro is talking about he's anti-regulation. I wonder why.
Necessity of people having to sanction whether or not
to have amateur and pro boxing or boxing fights.
Yeah.
I don't know the real reason behind it.
Purpose. Yeah.
I don't really know. I know that it's difficult to do in a lot of states. Okay. I know Florida was one of the easy ones, which I got lucky with.
But not as easy.
Maybe that got money. Okay, they're all saying money. Safety mainly, yeah. I mean, it makes sense.
What does safety mean, though? Like, for safety of the boxers?
I'm cool with this chair. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I like this chair. It's cool. Citrus, can you close the door? Sounds better. I think because, look, when I was doing my first few events, it wasn't really done through the full safety precautions, meaning, like, the paramedics weren't fully there. There was doctors, we take blood, we do drug tests.
So you think it was reasonable for you
to get censured eventually, because eventually it would be shut down and all that stuff, yeah. But yeah, man, I'm really, really excited. I'm very passionate about it. It's great.
First fight looking like?
Well, we have 8 fights. A lot of them are streamers and other content creators in my world. But I'm very, very excited. They're gonna fight, yeah.
You're gonna fight.
No. I want to be the Dana White of this thing.
Okay, got it. I see it.
I want to be the Dana White of this thing. Oh, man. All right.
Few of the UFC.
Yeah. We got
You kind of got your instincts of how you want to do things.
Exactly.
And Vivek already pulled out his phone. Yeah.
You know exactly. I want to start today, guys, and again, like, this is just such a big thing for me. I mean, you and I spoke. It was at the UFC where John Jones fought, and I got your number, and you're like, let's do something. And honestly, like, I instantly like, wow, this is great because what you've done is amazing. And what I want to do this new chapter I'm going down is motivate people and help them find paths and American excellence is what you kind of work. Right.
American excellence.
Like, even if one person in my chat can be inspired to do something by this conversation is kind of like my goal here. And that's just kind of like the thing. I want people to gain from watching my stream. I don't want people to be like, oh, why do you watch Aiden's stream? Like, why do you watch it?
Shit, I can't put it in the middle. That sucks.
I can see how degenerate content constantly being spammed can be that way. And people also, they love me, but I want people to also gain from my stream. I want people to, like, even if it's one person, like, okay, I saw this and I love this, and I'm going to apply this to my real world. That's my whole purpose of kind of like, oh, I want to actually do this. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. I see that you just did Breakfast Club, right?
Yeah, I did. I was in New York yesterday. I slept in Ohio, my home bed last night. I have a rule. Like, I travel so much.
Yeah.
As many nights, even if it's 1 a.m., I'll be sleeping there tonight too. My home bed, head on my pillow at home, see the kids in the morning, and then go.
So you're here and you go right back
home? I was in New York. I went to Ohio last night.
Yeah.
I came to Miami. I'm back to Ohio tonight.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so that's a good rule of thumb. Most of you probably have a younger audience, but once you have kids, even once you're ready for your job, it's taking you in a lot of different directions. I think things can go. Friends, what they go through, you kind of just lose connection with your.
Yeah.
So the rule that I set up before we ran for president or anything else is we own a plane, let's use it, get back that night, even if it's 1 a.m., go to sleep.
I love that. I love that. So it's like you go do what you need to do, you come right back home, you love that. That's great. Guys, I wanted to actually ask you guys this question because when people first watch me, they grew up with me. I like it like that. They mature with me, they're growing with me. How old are you guys reading my chat?
Yeah, let's see it.
I'm because we grew up together, and it's 23, 19, 31, 19, 30. So I'm like, so when I mentioned, when we were talking on the phone a couple of days ago, it's cool to see when I was speaking about, when Trump did the stream with me, I told you, or I told everyone that Barron Trump was appointing his dad to do, me, Theo, all these things, and it's cool because it's like, I like to think, even if it was a 0.001%, if I had any type of effect on an actual presidential election, it's crazy.
I don't think it was 0.001%. I think it's bigger than that. Because
I don't know.
I think you help. Yeah, I mean, it's a combination of you had a guy who, despite in his case being in his 70s, was still saying, I want to raise the next generation.
Sure.
Great.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things I tried to do when I ran was, in some ways, the political class forgets about who the youngest demographic is they're serving, even though the whole purpose of what we're doing is for the next generation, at least it should So anyway, I thought it was cool.
Thank you.
People, you know, it was a little different.
Yeah.
A politician, presidential candidate to show up in a stream like this.
Yeah.
And I think it really helped us.
Yeah.
It really helped us grow.
I think so too.
Who the fuck is us? He over here talking French. Who is us? Sir, you're not part of the us anymore. You see what I mean? I still don't think he realizes that he's out of MAGA.
People have to see the fun side of people. Actually, what do you do, by the way? Like outside of like business and politic world and all, what do you do for fun? What do you?
I'm like a tennis fanatic, actually.
Tennis guy?
There's a good chance I'll be at the Ohio State tennis practice tomorrow morning.
Oh,
so
my God.
Most days when I'm in Columbus, I show up and I'll warm up with coaches of the team.
Mm-hmm.
I used to train with some of those guys in the juniors. And so I play tennis. I'm pretty into tennis. And then once you have kids, you got to narrow your hobbies. You can't do everything. I'm big into hiking. I like to go out to the quietest place I can get to. If it's winter hiking in cold mountains in Colorado, whether it's Brazil where we spent Christmas in the Amazon. I love being in solitude, in nature. I love playing tennis at a competitive level. I like doing things that I'm really good at. I don't like doing things where it's like you only have to enjoy something after you get really good at it.
Yeah.
So I pick a few of the things I'm good at. I enjoy playing the piano. I think better when I'm fit. So, I'm not like obviously like a bodybuilder or anything, but I work out like 4 or 5 days a week with a trainer. It gets me focused, dialed in. And then after that, just take a bunch of quiet time, maybe with a notebook, write stuff down, get your ideas flowing. That's where books come from.
Got it.
So I like that. I like writing. I like quiet, time in nature. I love playing competitive sports, especially tennis. And I like to spend time with my kids.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Dad is what I would say. So it's funny you mentioned books. Someone like myself, I'll be real. I'm telling you guys, I'm telling him, I've never read a book in my entire life. Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something about that.
Okay, he said it.
I'm telling you guys, I'm telling him, I've never read a book in my entire life.
Right. Okay. You've never read a book in your entire life. Who's that supposed to appeal to, sir? That's not something to brag about. All right.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something about that before you sort of think that that's something you have to admit.
Yeah.
I actually, each person's wired differently. I actually write much more easily than I read. So I'm actually, people expect me to be like a really super fast reader or whatever. I'm actually not. I'm a relatively slow reader. It takes you, you read something, you want to think about it. So there's many ways to consume other ideas. But let me ask you, like reading is one medium of doing it. How do you consume other ideas?
Well, I like watching. Whether it's movies, movies. Yes, I love the movies where actors reenact real life events.
Okay.
Like for example, I just watched this recent one. I was so fixated on it. It was the Aaron Hernandez HBO TV show. It was like a series of actors actually acting out Aaron Hernandez and his life and what happened. And I was fascinated by it because it's like I like to think how people who obviously aren't there, like how they think. I'm very interested in I'm very interested in like human beings and their minds and all that stuff. So I was really
Clearly a deeply curious person.
Yeah.
That's what I find a little surprising if you say you never read a book. But you clearly consume the inputs for your thought. Right?
Yeah.
Once you start thinking, you can think on your own. You gotta have some inputs.
Yeah.
To juice that. So movies maybe for yourself.
Movies, I watch. I know that too.
Okay.
YouTube short videos telling stories. Like I didn't.
Shorts telling stories. So you don't.
Very clear to everybody that watches and stuff like that. But
Okay. You're listening to shorts of stories when you don't even know if that's the truth or not. Okay. Vivek is a movie producer, family.
Yeah, you're making it longer for yourself. Spell the beginning because you spelled the beginning wrong.
It's called City of Dreams.
Okay.
The movie City of Dreams. It is
I'm gonna write it down. I'm actually gonna write this down.
Yeah, it is based on a true story of this young man who was a boy.
Okay.
He's 15 years
I didn't know that a young man didn't mean boy. I didn't know that. He's telling us a lot.
old, who is trafficked into the United States of America from Pueblo, Mexico,
Okay.
to LA.
Okay.
And it is a riveting story. Exactly some of the incidents that you described, exactly the same type of situation where the cops would actually get in trouble for going after the guys who were actually doing the trafficking rather than actually just sitting back and letting them get away with it.
It's crazy.
It's insane. So in some ways, you can only explain this to people who don't believe it, but if you watch that movie, it at least highlights one boy's story. This boy actually managed to escape.
You produced it?
I was the executive producer.
Let me ask you a question, and if it's a no, it's a no. Is there a possible way you can give me copyright so I can watch it on my live stream in front of my chat, or not?
Dude, let me see if we can work on that for you.
For real?
Okay. Okay. All right. What else we got?
What's your net worth?
It's not a billion. I'm like a poor billionaire. I only have one. I don't have like multiple billions. I'm
You
like,
have $1 billion.
yeah.
What? That's crazy.
Again, those numbers are skewed, but sir, your accident drug, when you bought it, people told you it's not worth an investment, and you still took it. It failed the clinical trial. You told everybody that you were going to abandon it after you put out the IPO, and it got to as high as, some people say 200, some people say $500 on the stock. And then when the trial came out and it failed, it went down to pennies, but you had already cashed out and made $50 million. Oh, God. So you just went up in front of this young boy who's 24 years old and just told him, yeah, I made $1 billion. Now he's a, oh, man. Okay. All right.
A bad person, but they still broke the law. So my view is, if you look at the people who came in just in the last 2 years of Joe Biden, you're talking about millions of people in just those last 2 years who illegally entered this country. I think every one of those people, at least, should be returned to the country of origin. I think most people think that's reasonable, because some of the arguments here is, oh, people have established roots in this country, what are you going to do? No, somebody came here in the last 12, 18, 24 months. No, I'm sorry, they're not established roots in this country. If they entered illegally, return to the country. Start with that. That's already millions of people. That is a mass
That's
deportation.
crazy. No, it
In
is.
fact, not only is that a mass deportation, that alone would be the largest mass deportation in American history. And I think that is morally, ethically, not only justified, but necessary.
Good. Send your dad back too. Lead by example. Lead by example. Send your daddy back home. I think that would be beautiful. Send your daddy back home. Look, even Myron got into it. I ain't playing none he got.
I like to think, even if it was a 0.0.
This man actually thinks Aiden Ross had an impact on Trump winning.
All right, sweet.
My dad is probably
He's so
watching.
fast too. This is not an easy job. Just hanging here.
It's not. No, this is harder than a regular 9 to 5. I'm kidding. It was a joke. No, because it's not. It's really not. It was a controversial thing. I want to make it very clear to everybody. Streaming is nowhere near as hard as a 9 to 5. I'm just being real with all of you, and I actually know
Have you
that.
run a 9 to 5?
I've worked 4 jobs.
Oh, you have. Okay. You can say you have a third.
I cut and split wood when I was in high school. I worked as a busboy in 2 different restaurants, and then I cleaned Airbnbs. So those are my 4 jobs. Dad actually won.
To be held. What if there was a different way to hold a finite supplies of economic value? So that was actually part of the premise behind Bitcoin.
Bitcoin, yeah.
So I would put that in a different and, in some sense, superior category to something that you could just print more of, because then it's not differentiated. I'm not one of these people, though, that turns crypto into like a new religion. I'm all in on this coin or
Gotcha.
that coin. It becomes like a substitute for faith.
Got it.
But I do think that the ability to opt out of the traditional financial system is a good thing, and it would hold people accountable, hold people's feet to the fire by keeping the government more accountable if people had the ability to opt out of
Oh my God, sir, you can literally opt out of the government. Oh man, sir, you could have done that. Everybody could have done that decades ago. Here's how you could have opted out of the American government and kept them honest, like Vivek said. You don't vote for people like you. You don't support people like you. Oligarchs, corporations. But, you know. Your parents, my parents, everybody's parents. The name brands gave them power. You make corporations too big. But okay. I don't care about UFOs. And again, he's over there talking about Bitcoin, yet your president is sitting there talking about putting Bitcoin with the U.S. economy. So he want to control your own money. So how the hell are you getting away from it? Here you go.
heretical. I talked about this when I ran for president, got myself in major trouble. Actually, I want people to remember this. Actually, I'm glad we're talking about this. So in 2023, when I said this, it's 2025 now. In 2023, when I said this, this wasn't considered like, ooh, that was kind of brave. This was considered heretical.
What did you say?
This was in the Republican Party. The idea that this could, like a candidate for president could say this was nuts. What I said was, I don't think we should ban TikTok. And what I said was, in fact, I'm going to join TikTok.
That's not what he. You see how he lies? You see how he lies? Because he knows these people in Aiden Ross's chat are not going to fact check him. That's not what you said. You said, and I quote, multiple times, China was the enemy. And when you came outside and said you shouldn't ban TikTok, people looked at you crazy. Like, how can you say China's not the enemy, but you want to keep an app that has been shown to take data and give it to the People's Republic of China? Then you made it worse by joining the app. So you didn't even lead by example. That's why a lot of people didn't trust you at that point. Because you don't follow what you preach. But again, you're going to sit in front of this no book reading, arrogant streamer and his crowd and say this.
Now, today that feels normal. In 2023, go back and watch the debates. They tried to eviscerate me for this. They said, how are you going to join this toxic platform? My view is, if you want to reach the next generation, are you sure you just want the other side to have a monopoly on it? And instead, everybody and their mother of banning TikTok. And I just thought it's a bad idea where we don't want to act like we're not going to beat China by beating China. And if it's TikTok today, it'll be X tomorrow. It'll be Snapchat the next day. You can't set that precedent in the United States. So that's what I believe.
Yeah.
And one of the things I've...
And you'll be the first one outside saying this is wrong when Elon sells the app to a foreign power. You're going to be the first one. Probably if it happens during your gubernatorial run, you'll probably say, when I become governor of Ohio, the first thing I'm going to do on day one is ban X in Ohio. Because you know it's going to come. Pause. AW1, I already told y'all. I'll say it again, though. Maybe you didn't hear it. I already tried to bring Vivek on. Kathy Barnett said no. Vivek's not going to talk to me. I'm telling you this right now. Vivek talks to me, he's out of politics as soon as I get off the stream. I promise you. He can't risk that. He can't do it. Do you know how bad it's going to look? Not only that he loses his political career, but he lost it to a black man. He could never recover. I don't want to put that on the community because me destroying him would make him an even bigger anti-black racist. I can't do that to y'all. I can't do it. His best bet is stay away from me. Yes, he's scared of me. He's scared of me, and Kathy's scared of me. Think about it. Again, when we did the Breakfast Club stream, look how many people came up in that comment thread and said I was wrong, and then all of a sudden they disappeared when all the stuff started coming out. Every time I do a Vivek video, look at this Vivek video I'm doing right now. With his name in the title, and not nary a troll that loves him came up in here and refuted anything I said yet. The bloom fell off the rose, which myself, Torian, and everybody else, New Black Media, said it was going to be gone. He know better.
I've learned is in business, it's a big advantage. It pays to be early.
Got it.
In politics, it does not pay to be early.
Got it.
Okay?
Got
You're
it.
too early in politics.
It's not good.
All people.
You know why it doesn't pay too early to be right in politics? Because you're not woke. See, when you're woke, when you put out something like that, you know it's going to come to pass. You stand on it. Most of y'all trying to run out there to be the first. Just like with that story with the plane crash. Y'all all ran out there to be first, and now all of y'all look stupid because more facts came out and y'all were wrong. Why?
You said the S word.
Right.
So why did you say it?
Because I had to describe people. It's an adjective.
Oh.
Right. Well, Reparation Nation, if I did that and had them on there, you know how many super chats I get? Them white boys would be mad at me. All type of N-word be flying up in there. I'm like, okay. Now, since all y'all ran up in there and gave me the N-word, go in there and tell me what that man said that was the truth. You saw all the documentation on the screen. You saw how flustered he got when I put up all the information. Tell me what I said that was wrong. Off top, and then I'll go back. Just off the pharmaceutical stuff alone, I have access to. He ain't ready for that. He probably figured, oh, you got it from somebody else. No, sir. We went down them records. I have access to them. Don't worry. It ain't forged. But we continue.
Remember is that was a guy who said some really weird things. I don't remember what they were, but actually those weird things ended up being right. Because now most Republican influencers are on TikTok, even some of the very ones who back then were
Republican influencers.
TikTok, they're now making.
That's the only thing I'll agree with them on. Republican influencers. And how's that working out for y'all? Huh? Hey, Republican influencers. When y'all gonna start talking to your crowds about bricks? I know my hairline fucked up. I gotta go shave. When y'all gonna start talking to your crowd about bricks and the threat that it poses? Oh, wait, y'all gonna tell me bricks ain't no threat because 4 of those 5 countries are SO countries, right? Oh, I was rubbing my hands, Don P. You don't understand. Bring me Vivek, please. Bring me this man. Let me end his career, please. I'd be the most famous black man for about 24 hours on the internet. Please. I can't do that to my kid, though. I can't do that. Because we know how them white boys are when they take a loss. We know what it is. But bring me this man. Okay. Hey, DSB, thank you for the 10 memberships. That's a blessing.
They're not making their name and making their careers on TikTok as well.
Well,
So I think that
What do you
that's-
mean they're not making their careers on TikTok? You sure about that? All right. So you took him. Okay, this is old. That was that power slap. Okay. But see, this right here, this is who y'all follow. A man who took his cues from life watching movies. Movies ain't real life. Reparations Nation, I would turn them down. I would actually turn down CNN and Fox News. I would actually do it because I know what's going to happen. I'll go on there and I'll spit the truth. They won't bring me back. Or they're gonna ask me to go up in there and coon. I can't do that. Something gonna slip out of my mouth that ain't gonna pause. That they're not gonna like. And you're right about Fox News because as soon as I'm done over there, a whole bunch of news is gonna show up in my comment threads. Hey, I got somewhere you can sit. All right. I love how you said Bitcoin was going to hold the government accountable. Boy, I swear. Let me tell y'all something. If y'all follow, oh, by the way, Vivek tried to pull Vivek and Ada were talking about crypto on there, and he tried to boost up some crypto coin. I swear to God, this is what you're going to see for the next couple of years. These Republican heads and these crypto, just every time talking about crypto coin, and then the shit crashes. I wouldn't even be surprised at these debates when they start up. You start finding out that crypto bros are sponsoring these folk. Might as well give them all jerseys with patches like the WNBA. Might as well. He's dead set against internet censorship.
You know him? Sneeko, yeah. Okay. He's my good friend. Ask him about social media censorship. My boy here is asking this question. Let me just give you a little background. He's banned on Instagram. He's banned on YouTube.
You know him?
Sneeko, yeah. Okay. He's my good friend.
That's really funny how you can see this.
Yeah, he's
Social media censorship. So I'm dead set against it.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm dead set against it. There's multiple levels of social media censorship. One is when social media companies ban particular expression of content on their website. I'm against that. And I think the reason they've been doing it is in many cases the government has been threatening them behind closed doors.
Yet your man Elon is still censoring people. You can't make this up. What's this? What is this red? Mr. Chris, thank you for the $2 super chat. That's a blessing. Hey, DSB, thank you for the $100 super chat. That's a blessing. Keep up the amazing work, my warrior brother. You are most appreciated. I appreciate that. Mr. Chris, why you got to call him a loser's loser? Why you got to do all that? That's messed up. Call him a loser's loser. Nah, well, this money, I ain't going to be eating good till next month. But that ain't for me. It's for toys and clothes for the baby. Oh, what is this? He's still sending me this. I'm not a teacher. Why are you still sending me that? What is this? Hold on. I've been trained in aviation, which I had to work with. Okay. Hey, if you want to come on, let me know. Pause. What is this? Okay, enough. Where is that Schultz stuff? You gotta hear this. He went to go see Andrew Schultz in No Jumper. Now I looked it up. That's a 2-hour interview. I ain't finna do that to y'all. He said something in there very interesting that I need y'all to listen to. Let me put in Andrew Schultz. That might be easier. Andrew Schultz roasts Vivek Ramaswamy for calling Americans the R word. Listen to this. All my Ohio people, I want you to listen to this.
Valley, right, has been at the bleeding edge of the American economy for the last 20 years, just by market capitalization, by innovation. I think the Ohio River Valley can be the.
You want to bring Silicon Valley to Ohio.
Even one step more than that, to go to the next level where Silicon Valley isn't in terms of production. Because I do think.
Okay, so don't y'all love it when Republican and conservative pundits, influencers, talking heads, which I like to call the pit, sit there and smack around Hollywood and Silicon Valley, and their retort is, let's create our own version where we are. Why would you want to emulate something that you despise? Why would you want to emulate something that you were saying is causing the degradation of our children? Why would you want to do that? Because you want to have money closer to you? So let's give up Silicon Valley. There's going to be no more wineries, no more expensive areas to live. We're going to build it in the Ohio River Valley where it's mostly working class people that are going to get run out. Because we didn't see what happened in San Francisco, which was a very affordable city until Silicon Valley started getting their hooks into the area. Where is Don P? He could tell you. You want that for the Ohio River Valley. And we know where they're going to put it. Don't think they're going to put it where Cleveland is. It's not even going to be in the middle of Ohio. Oh, no, 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 no. Here's the grift that they're not telling you. They build this Silicon Valley. They're going to build it where Cincinnati is. Why do you say that, Gravity? I'm going to tell you why. Because they want Kentucky to fund it. The good old boys will be like, yeah, we get to build buildings. We get to enrich ourselves. Then you can't afford it. Because what are they going to do? Sure, I work in, we'll call it the Ohio Silicon Valley. We'll call it, what are we going to call it? Microchip Alley, right? We live in Microchip Alley. But I live in Kentucky, northern Kentucky, where the rent is much cheaper. Mortgages are much cheaper. The land is much cheaper. Goods and services, much cheaper. I live about 60 miles outside of Cincinnati and Microchip Alley. So now you got a whole bunch of tech bros and finance bros and hedge fund people running to Kentucky and central Ohio, destroying the working class ecosphere and pushing all them people out. Now where are they going to go? You've just destroyed roots. You just made Ohio damn near New York.
That's going to be the next wave of actual true innovation in America is actually producing semiconductors.
But how do you
You think you just like get a lot more H-1B visas in
Roll
Ohio?
back.
Yeah.
Starts with rolling back.
How do you do with these retard Americans? Well, we just got retarded Americans here in this country. There's no way we can figure out engineering.
You hear him?
Retards right here trying to figure out what the managerial class is.
So you know
We're
what
too
the,
dumb.
You know what the sad part is?
Yes.
We're actually. Some people say that.
What do you
Some
mean?
people say that. Some
Yeah, I
people
know.
say
He's
that
sitting on the
there's an IQ
couch right now.
differential. What's that?
He's sitting right here, the guy who says it.
No, actually, so to the contrary.
Okay, yeah.
Because I said this in my now infamous
He got
tweet.
hacked. He got
I
hacked.
don't know. That was all me.
The next one should have said
Yost and Sherrod Brown are going to have a field day with that clip. So now you just went on No Jumper. Well, not, you know what I mean. I confused the shows. I'm sorry. You went in front of Andrew Schultz and his three minions and just admitted that you wrote that tweet and you're taking ownership, which is good because men are supposed to take ownership for when they screw up. They are going to love this. Well, Don P, you know what Jason Black says. If you really want to know the truth about something, well, he says for black people, we'll extend it to Vivek. If you ever want to know what Vivek Ramaswamy really thinks, put him in front of a white person, let them ask the questions. There you go. He think he in amongst friends is.
What's weird, my tweets is nobody else reads them before I put them out. That is all me.
That is all me.
to the championship game, you're like, all right,
When
what
you have a
else?
busy year and you're on vacation with your family,
Yeah.
maybe put down the Twitter account for a little while. It's
Oh,
a
where were
good
you on
insight, yo.
vacation?
Tip us
TikTok
off.
Jack, take my
And there you go, family. He was in Brazil when he said it. Kind of like when Fakem was on vacation and did that story about the Bell County sheriff that got deleted by the black kid and the Hispanic kid. And he said it was two black kids and admitted on that video that he didn't fully vet everything. He just ran with it because he heard the N-word repeatedly in the video and assumed they both were black. Yeah, Vivek, you're on vacation when you're supposed to be enjoying time with your family. You saw what Elon tweeted and you said, let me jump on that. On vacation. This man got eviscerated and fired on your day off. Okay.
So we're in Brazil, and I was just like, you know
You
what?
saw them working, you were like, nah, these motherfuckers.
Well, so the thing is, the thing that pissed me off
Yeah.
is actually a lot of people started saying the thing that you were saying,
What
which
they
is
say?
that actually there's some IQ differential in other countries versus the U.S. I don't think so.
We
Actually,
gotta be the smartest.
I think that if anything, we are because we have a good selection bias of who comes here.
Yeah,
For me,
native
that's
IQ
the-
brackets
but-
typically, yeah.
But there's a big problem.
What?
So if we have at least no less smart and probably smarter on average than most countries, if not all countries, because of the selection bias of who comes here. Yet in 8th grade,
You're
actually, let me ask you
you're
this.
still saying it's the immigrants that come
Well,
here
let
to
me
make
ask.
us smart.
No, and then
Yeah,
different
but
generations.
still saying that.
They're different generations.
Just say, if you wanted to
Just-
be fine,
you wanted the hard
just say
part.
white Christians are the smartest and everything will be okay. Okay?
I
Just
think
say it.
America's
Just say
the
Christ
best.
is king and we're the smartest.
Now he's saying America's the best. Okay. Now he's saying America's the best. Okay. All right, dude. Even though you knocked American culture. But you claim you're American, so that would include you. But no, you had to tell everybody that you are Indian. Thank you, Mr. Chris, for the $2. He said Vivek got cracked out of Doge. Yeah. So since everybody's putting up that clip, that makes it seem like that everything else was boring.
Change this country
What's
for
this?
better by doing what I believe is truthful and required for saving our nation. That's why I worked hard, worked my tail off to get Donald Trump back in office, because I think at the federal level,
You worked your tail off to get Trump in, but okay. All right. Did he know that you were working your tail off? And you worked your tail off, and he rewarded you by being in front of Tulsi Gabbard and putting you in the back at the inauguration.
He is the guy to lead us back to our sense of self-confidence and greatness. So now, when I look at what I'm doing, my goal is not to map some sort of focus group path to what you're supposed to say to win an election. What I care about is actually reviving excellence in America. It so happens, though, that I think most people, including in the Republican Party, agree with the core principles of meritocracy, the pursuit of excellence.
I do think the majority.
I think it's the overwhelming majority.
I think it's
And I'm not going to get 100%. I'm
overwhelming.
not going to get 100% of people supporting it. That's great. It's the beauty of a democracy. So I think that the majority of people in this country, and certainly I think even the majority of conservatives, especially the majority of conservatives, believe in hard work, self-reliance, self-determination, meritocracy, excellence.
He keeps talking about meritocracy. How come, hey Vivek, how come you haven't tweeted it about, you know what, let me not say that. But up until yesterday, you didn't say anything about that plane crash. Let me look. Maybe he said something today. Let me look. Let me look. Okay, so 6 hours. The biggest threat to capitalism is crony capitalism, which is you. China's going to be eating our lunch if they haven't already. They're already doing it, sir. They are the number 2 holder of our debt next to Japan. They're already there. Next. Sir, where is your... Y'all got to see this. I'm about to play this. This was hilarious. Where is your... Fam, I know I'm going a little quick. I'll slow down a little bit. Haven't y'all noticed he has said nothing about the plane crash? Vivek, oh, here we go. Praying for all the victims and families of first responders tonight. Okay, so you get, at least you were smart. You didn't say anything stupid about DEI, but I'm surprised you didn't say anything about DEI. It's been about 2 days. No DEI posts? Huh? Where's your DEI post? Why aren't you coming outside saying, you know what? We got to look into this. I'm just saying. It would have been very simple. Why you didn't come out with a DEI post? Because why? Pilot on the plane, white. Guy in the helicopter, hey baby. White people actually lied. It was a white male pilot. So you were right this morning. You're woke. Oh, one of the trolls actually woke up. What do you mean check from last year? I don't know what that means. You gotta speak English. Oh wait, don't do that. According to Vivek, that means you're dumb. I got an idea. Black Americans in chat, y'all talk Tutnese. I'll talk Spanish. DEI's last year's topic. You sure about that? He said last year's. Now they have a shelf life. You sure about that? Okay. He said DEI is last year's. Family, who want to tell him? Or her or it. We don't discriminate over here. Who want to tell him? Who want to tell him? You sure? Because Trump went in front of the press corps and talked about diversity. You sure? DEI policies are not to blame for the plane crash. Because your favorite pundits were out there talking last night and the day before about who was flying it and what were their qualifications. But according to y'all, DEI is old. Okay. Okay. It's last year's. But your man was sitting up there doing executive orders about it. Okay. All right. Oh, wow. What is this? Elon Musk suddenly going to overdrive to blame DEI, Obama, Biden, likely because he doesn't want you to know that the FAA was without a leader during the DC plane crash thanks to him. How is that Elon Musk's fault? Yeah. Okay. Oh, Charlie Kirk ran outside with it. Okay. All right. This fool said no more inequality. Oh, you want a society where everybody is equal? That ain't gonna happen. There's always gonna be inequality. This motherfucker say everybody benefits. Do you see this? This fantasy world that y'all have created? I'm so glad that y'all like that. Go put it into fruition. Oh my God. Oh man. You gotta love it, family. They just come in here and just say things. But I love how people are still telling us that DEI is gone, and it's an old topic.
Articles that appeared prior to my entering office.
Uh-huh.
And here's one. The FAA's diversity push includes
Ooh.
people with severe intellectual and psychiatric disabilities. That is amazing. And
It's called You Can't Discriminate, right? I thought, according to people in this chat, you're supposed to be given a fair shot. I thought it was on books that said you can't discriminate on those bases. So why are you upset? You hear him. But remember, folk told me that DEI is an old topic from last year.
says FAA says people with severe disabilities are most underrepresented segment of the workforce, and they want them in, and they can be air traffic controllers. I don't think so. This was in January 14th, so that was a week before I entered office. They put a big push to put diversity into the FAA's program. Then another article, the Federal Aviation Administration. This was before I got to office. Recently, second term. The FAA is actively recruiting workers who suffer severe intellectual disabilities, psychiatric problems, and other mental and physical conditions under a diversity and inclusion hiring initiative spelled out on the agency's website. Can you imagine? These are people that are, I mean, actually, their lives are shortened because of the stress that they have. Brilliant people have to be in those positions, and their lives are actually shortened, very substantially shortened, because of the stress where you have many, many planes coming into one target, and you need a very special talent and a very special genius to be able to do it.
Wonderful. I'm glad you said that. And how come you're not doing it? How come you're not doing it? Yes, Miriam, that's the point. They don't vet. That is the exact point. I'm glad you said it. They don't vet. They choose anybody. But who did it? You were on watch when that happened, sir. Oh, man. It's almost like people told you, give us a shot. If we don't work out, we don't work out. You watch people say we're not gonna give you a shot. Now you have things like this are happening. Now everybody's gonna be questioned. And you didn't like it that your first shot in office, you had this tragedy happen, and people ran up in there with that DEI crap, and look what happened. Look who was the face of it. How do I become a UN member? We could look that up. I don't know. UN member. Are you becoming a nation unto yourself, Miriam? I mean, that's kind of cool. Let me see. I wonder what the member application. How a state becomes a UN member. We can figure this out. You said how did I become a member? I don't know. Did you pay? Did you lose your card or something? I don't know. I didn't unmake you a member. I don't even touch that stuff. I'm gonna see if I can get an application. Maybe I can make myself a member of the UN. I can have voting power, even though I'll be under the United States. But that might be kind of funny.
Targeted disabilities are those disabilities that the federal government, as a matter of policy, has identified for special emphasis in recruitment and hiring. FAA's websites.
Hey, where'd you trolls go?
Hearing, vision.
Trump's talking about DEI, the old topic.
Partial paralysis, complete paralysis, epilepsy, severe disability, psychiatric disability.
This is what we'll do, though.
All qualify for the position of
I'll do that for you in the meantime.
a controller of airplanes pouring into our country, pouring into a little spot, a little dot on the map.
A little dot.
The initiative is part of the FAA's diversity and inclusion hiring plan. Think of that. The initiative is part of the FAA's diversity and inclusion.
Why in the hell? Okay, so you're telling me the FAA don't want to bring in diverse people. So everybody can do the same job. Oh, Lord. Oh, by the way, family, you know they mad at another corporation, right? The latest corporation to come outside and say they're not giving up their DEI policies is who? Apple. They out there telling Elon Musk to make his own phone so they could bankrupt Apple. If y'all knew what Apple owned, you would know that Elon couldn't even touch it. But okay. What happened, trolls? Hold on one second. Wife. All right, never mind. FAA turned away qualified air traffic controllers based solely on race. Well, isn't that something? Isn't that something? This fucking moth. Hold on one second. All right. Huh. Washington Times owned by whom? Let's find out. You know what? I always wanted to search for that. Let's see. Who owns it? Operations Holding, which is a subsidiary of the Holy Spirit Association for the Unification of World Christianity, founded by Sung Myung Moon. Oh, so it's Asian. Okay. News World Communications. Well, that's when it was founded. So the church. All right. How Jesus of you. But yeah. What's up? Ooh, Fox News went after Trump. Wait a minute. Look at Janine Pirro. Look at her face. That's Korean all day.
Put into office. He showed up with one message. It's DEI's fault. Then Hegseth says DEI. Then Duffy says DEI. And then J.D. Vance, maybe playing a little bit of cleanup, says Well, if it wasn't DEI, in terms of the pilots are, it's very stressful to work with people when we have these kinds of DEI policies.
You hear it?
It's not a scapegoat for everything. It is, I get it, for some voters, it's what they want to hear about. But you should put into office.
Oops. Oops. She did lose her card. Okay. Hopefully you find that nobody took anything off of it. But yeah. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? Trump blames plane crash on DEI. He said it. Oh boy. They try to blame a black man who interviewed for the job. He doesn't even work there. I don't eat roti, bunker TV. Jesus Christ. If you're going to revoke my H-1B status, can you please do that with saltfish? It's called the H-1B saltfish visa. The fuck? Wait, Terry Rozier was gambling on games? Damn. Sucks for him. He over here talking about some, I don't put no curry on my H-1B. What's the matter with you? What is this?
What this presidential message is. Thank you. Second for your signature, we have a presidential memorandum titled Immediate Assessment of Aviation Safety. In light of the damage done to aviation safety by the Biden administration's DEI and woke policies, what this presidential memorandum orders is for the Secretary of Transportation and FAA Administrator, in this case acting FAA Administrator, to basically ensure that we are actively undoing all of that damage, that we are assessing how much damage was done, and that we're ensuring that people hired within the FAA, in keeping with your memorandum of January 21st, are only the most outstanding, capable people for the jobs that they're being hired.
I almost want them to follow through with this so that they start bringing in more black people just so as see the white supremacists get pissed off. And you see record amount of safety initiatives being followed and people being some of the highest times in aviation history that people are satisfied with service. I almost want them to do that. Look at Roland.
Get this workout in.
This workout in, nigga. Why he look like he tried to try out for the Rockets? What is this? Who put him in this fit? Never mind. Mr. Chris, thank you for the $5. That's a blessing. Don't forget about Roland Martin. He said Trump is driving a wedge between FBA and black bootleg shields. You can't make this crap up. That sounds like Roland.
All right, folks. I gotta go. I'm trying to get this workout in, but my phone has been blowing up. People have been calling me and texting me about that racist, sexist news conference of Donald Trump and his administration blaming DEI for this plane crash. Bodies are still being pulled out of the waters in these grossly.
It wasn't two planes, Kira. It was a plane and a helicopter.
White men are blaming DEI for what took place. The biggest beneficiary of DEI and affirmative action programs, white women.
Sir, when were you saying this before? Wait a minute, Roland. We lurk. You've never brought this up until everybody else brought it up. Cut it out. We're not doing that. You saw that somewhere on X. Don't do that. Because when they dropped affirmative action, you were on your show yelling, talking about how this is going to hurt black kids. So knock it. Don't come out here with the full outrage.
But listen to Peter Hegg said. He said we're going to be colorblind and Hiron Barrett. He's only talking about race. I got a lot more I'm going to say on Roland Martin Unfiltered. Y'all better tune in 6 p.m. Eastern, youtube.com/Roland S. Martin or the Black Star Network app. Oh, yeah, I got a lot to say.
You better say a lot to that treadmill. You heard what I said. I love how he's feigning outrage, but he's going to make money off of it. He loves this.
Diversity into the FAA's program.
Uh-huh.
Then another article, the Federal Aviation Administration. This was before
We heard that. Yeah, how'd that work out, sir? How'd that work? Shout out to Ken Hotep. How'd that work out? Now we're going to throw DEI in your face every time now. Remember what I said? That whole cabinet is DEI. Now every time they screw up, they're DEI. That man really sat at the press conference and blamed Obama for this. He really wants that matchup. He really wants them to fix the term limits clause and go see Obama. He got Fox News mad at him because he brought up DEI. I see the game. Trump ain't gonna give nobody on mainstream media access. He gonna be doing these interviews with streamers. The controller involved in the plane crash was a DI hire. Huh? I don't even know if this is real. Okay, so this guy's saying that he went through the proper channels, but because of Obama, he couldn't get a job in what he wanted to do. Okay. The NTSB spent a good bit of their press conference about the plane crash, helicopter crash, explaining what they do, why they do it, why it's important, basically why Trump is an effing idiot for his previous press conference about the crash, where he blamed it on DEI and said the people investigating it purposely withheld information for a longer time than necessary on previous crashes. Because they knew who flew the plane and the copter. They didn't want it to come out.
Blamed the diversity elements, but then told us that you weren't sure that the controllers made any mistake. You then said perhaps the helicopter pilots were the ones who made the mistake.
It's all under investigation.
I understand that. That's why I'm trying to figure out how you can come to the conclusion right now that diversity had something to do with this crash.
Because I have common sense.
I put my head in my hands, Pat, when the president.
What do you mean you have common sense? That man point blank asked you, how can you blame diversity on this? You said I have common sense. Oh my God. I told you, they all think they're one big white man. I told you. Oh man. Oh no, I'm just there 8. No, because what they did last year when they were trying to criticize black pilots, they were trying to figure out how long they were doing flight training. Even though the federal mandate upped it after that plane crash way back in the early 2000s from, what was it? I think it was like 3,000 hours up to 30,000. The dude who flew the plane, that was his first flight. He only had 5 years of training. So now, am I allowed to sit up there and say 5 years ain't enough? Am I allowed to do that? This is why it's dangerous to start talking about things like this if you don't even have the basics. Trump don't even have the basics. All he had to say be presidential. We're going to launch a full investigation. We want to get to the bottom of this so this never happens again. You went and brought in DEI. Because now, like the rest of the influencers, you can't escape from it. Everything now is DEI. So I hope, again, when your cabinet screws up and people start calling them DEI, don't come outside and try to defend them. Let them hang on the vine. Carl Langley, thank you for the $5 super chat. You said, I'm loving it. Black folks got the money in the bank briefcase and just buying our time throughout all this chaos.
This is something that has been pushed by the far right for a few months now. That DEI.
It's been 2 years, sir. It's not a few months. It's been 2 years.
United States, but frankly, the president is getting out ahead of the skis here. What he has said is not only unprofessional, unpresidential, inconsiderate of the status of this investigation, but frankly, it is just unhinged. That he could even say with any sort of certainty that diversity, equity, and inclusion policies had any part to play in this accident. Remember that 67 people are dead. I hate to get so upset here, but this is something that investigators will really need to pick apart piece by piece, and that is going to take some really significant time. We're not even 24 hours.
Yes, because a normal plane crash investigation could take anywhere from like 4 months to like a few years. We may not even know the full extent of what happened.
After this crash, we're barely even 12 hours after this crash. And he is saying with a lot of certainty that the blame is on DEI, and the blame is in some ways on air traffic control and air traffic controller hiring.
That's y'all's Trump. Air traffic controllers and airfield operations specialists by gender and race. Okay. 7822 race. There you go. But they're going to say these numbers aren't, they're going to say Axios ain't good enough. They're lefties. Okay. All right. White men, remember the other day when I told y'all are DEI as well? I'm woke. It's okay. You can be DEI along with the rest of us.
Then collided with an army helicopter, and Trump said it's because of DEI, and that never would have happened if DEI didn't exist.
How can you blame DEI if he fired all DEI?
He said this is the DEI from Biden and Obama's administration, which is why this has happened.
But didn't Trump fire the head of the
Yes,
FAA?
Trump did indeed fire him, but that has nothing to do with it. Besides, if he was fired, doesn't that mean he was incompetent?
Yeah, no, because the FAA got into an argument with Elon, with Elon getting fined, and Elon called for him to resign when Trump takes office, and all of a sudden he resigned, and now this happened.
Well, it's actually a good thing he resigned ground because he was trying to find Elon for not following the safety laws. Elon Musk is a genius. He should have just stayed out of it.
This is why you shouldn't try to strong arm the professionals that do what they do. We haven't had a major crash like this in 16 years. And upon all of this stuff happening, now it's DEI's fault. Where are they?
Trump went on an interview and said it's basically the infrastructure and stuff that DEI built. So that means it isn't Trump's fault, then it's DEI.
You're wrong, but all of that aside, why are we politicizing this instead of finding solutions and improving the process? It sounds like he's running away from accountability.
No, broke boy isn't talking about.
Next time you do this video, brother, you kind of want to keep your camera equipment out of the shot and your lighting equipment out of the shot. It kind of makes it look like somebody opened up the fridge and they just trying to get something to eat while you're doing this video. That's not cool.
Accountability. The only way we can get our country back is if we all put our mental efforts into making better systems.
All the conspiracy land led to this. Thinking we don't need qualified people in these offices led to this.
Lewis, just remember that Donald Trump just took office. These things take time to implement for us to see changes.
Because having personal vendettas and having people fear you because you're a billionaire to the point where you're firing prosecutors, generals, the head of the FAA.
We had to train the swamp and corruption in America, so they had to get fired.
It is not going to lead to a good country.
Why are you yelling in your apartment complex? Why are you yelling? They can't hear nobody else, bro. You just yelling. And you doing this in the daytime, too. Come on, bro.
We're going to become chaotic very quickly, as we just seen.
Too bad we're already chaotic because we have all of this DEI.
DEI is illegal, so...
Why are you yelling in your... He's yelling in the complex. Dude.
Even though Trump gave all the orders that led to this is not good at the let's only DEI, even though you already made it illegal to fire everybody in DEI.
Is he serious? Oh, my God. Oh, man. I swear. Oh, where? Oh, wait a minute. Family. Guess who came outside and said something? Look at this.
At the Federal Aviation Administration, we are looking for the best and brightest to join us as air traffic controllers.
Okay, that's good. Perfectly reasonable. That is what we should want, the best and the brightest. Let's let them continue.
We need a diverse group of air traffic controllers to bring distinct perspectives.
Yeah, here we go. No, we don't need a diverse group as air traffic controllers. What we need is people who know what they're doing.
Is he serious right now? Tori and I done told you about this dude. Sir. Why wouldn't you want somebody that is experienced with ATC and people who are trying to learn? Couple that with people that have maybe a couple years experience. That's how you create a workforce. Hey, Jeffrey, you dummy. When these corporations open up their new stores around, do they just hire brand new people? Do they only just hire the best and the brightest, or they get everybody, a little mix of everybody based on your experiences? I swear the boy's slow. I think the boy's slow.
It could be black, white, Asian, pink, blue, orange, yellow. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. They could all be Asian. They could all be Indian. They could all be black. They could all be white. The diversity does not matter. What matters is, are they competent at their job?
This motherfucker just said, oh, Lord. Sir, you just argued for this man. I don't even think he realized he did it. You literally just argued for this man. I tell you, the boy's slow. He gotta be. Okay, Jeffrey, how you gonna feel when the FAA brings in all them people and they all from diverse backgrounds? Then what? Oh, we know, because now you're going to look at the entire roster. You're going to let the Asians and the whites run, but the Hispanics and everybody else, and the black folks especially, you're going to scrutinize them because you're going to assume the Asians and the whites know what they're doing, right? So technically, I just want y'all to understand this, family, and the thinking of these kind of people. He's technically acting racist right now. Even though we like to say black people ain't been racist. I'll make an exception for Jeffrey here. Jeffrey, you're sounding racist. Because you like to follow them grifters doing that type of content on TikTok. I guarantee you'll leave the Asians and whites alone. So you assumed. Then when there's another plane crash and we find out the Asians and whites were running the tower, what are you going to say then? Then you're going to try to play DEI then?
Job, and do they know what they're doing? You know, he started the first time I watched this, I was laughing for probably like 3 minutes. Like, why can y'all not just focus on
Your sense of comedy sucks then.
being competent and good at their job? Diversity is not what makes air traffic control good. I can't.
What? He said diversity is not what makes air traffic control good. Okay. Okay.
I can't. The only thing we should be focused on is, hey, are you good at your job? We need people. Like, he started off the best.
That's diversity, you fool. You can tell he's never hired somebody. You can automatically tell he's never hired anybody. He's never been in a management position. Never. Let me help you, Jeffrey. I've hired people. You have to play that, unfortunately. And Trump ain't going to sit up there and tell you that truth. You have to look at your entire pool of applicants. They're all not the same. You need to hire experienced people, yes, in all departments, but you also have to hire people that you can train, that bring something to the table. That's called diversity. That's called equity, and that's called inclusion. It may just have a sexy name now and an acronym that you guys can run around with all day, but they've been doing that since the dawn of time. These are the same folk that'll sit up there and praise a mofo who worked his way in a corporation from the office mailroom all the way up to being a manager. But you'll get pissed off at somebody hiring somebody for a job that they got educated and trained for, because now you want to play time games with them.
Best and the brightest. Get good people here who are competent, who know what they're doing. Skin color or gender doesn't matter. That video is so cringe.
Mind you, the dude in the video didn't even say anything about skin color. But okay. Okay. He said nothing about skin color. You inserted that. You inserted skin color. Pause. Look at this. Diversity equals racism and discrimination. What? Excuse me? Hiring based on race and ethnicity is against the law. So why is there protections in place if it's against the law? Oh, Lord. It's against the law to hire like that, but they put provisions in place to make sure that you try to hire people in that. So how's it against the law? So basically, America has been committing crimes for decades. Okay. All right. Sure. We know they do it, but all right. We're going to blame Biden. Okay. They got hung up over distinct perspective. They got hung up over that. These got to be bots. A distinct perspective. Yet when they go into these rooms and do the interviews, they ask you point blank, what do you bring to the table? What makes you different? What makes you stand out from other applicants? That's a distinct perspective. Well, MTG, if you don't like me scrolling, you can leave. You can scroll your ass out of here. Bye. You can scroll up. There's other lives. Bye. Thank you so much. Jesus Christ. You can go scroll Twitter and you can talk in your own head. Have fun. What a dumbass. You're watching me scroll and I'm making money off of it. How'd that work? Oh my God, I tell you they dumb. I tell you they're dumb. Why do you want diverse perspectives when someone is directing the plane to land or take off? Maybe have them fly upside down or backwards. Oh, Jesus Christ. I swear. Oh, see, when they say things like this right here, they'll be the same ones that'll get pissed off if they find out something happened at the airport and the person that was in charge only got about 3 years experience. I guess each one teach one don't mean nothing no more. All right, cool. I'm glad you could break these videos down. My brain be fried. Okay. Why would he apply for White House press credentials? He's a reaction channel. Why would he do that? He's not smart. I've seen this boy get cooked in debates. He's not smart. And I don't think you want that on your resume that you went to a White House press briefing and Trump cooked you or his press secretary cooked you. I don't think you want that. Can you do the job? Ma'am, everybody gonna lie and say they can. Oh, man. But okay. Look at all these bots. They'd be shocked that they worked in some of these corporations and realize that everybody there is diverse. They'd be shocked. I get it though. He get to sit in his house. He get to do them TikTok videos and make money off of it. By the way, Jeffrey, you're DEI, sir. Just figured I'd let you know since none of your white audience will tell you the truth. You're DEI. Like it's like you can't hire somebody who's qualified and then all of a sudden they can't do the job. You get them out. I thought that's how it works. You just think everybody's given their position. All right. Okay. Y'all gonna learn real quick, man. Like corporations don't every day hire and fire people. But okay. The point is you hire talent that you feel as though you can teach and it'll be around for the long term. DEI only became a problem because you laid everybody else off after the goddamn scamdemic. You won't bring them back because you know they're going to ask for more money because you're going to validate their worth. But, you know, leave it to Vivek and them. Vivek talking about meritocracy. Now, look, they can't even give you an accurate metric of meritocracy. Can't even do it. Just keep that in the back of your head, Tabernacle. They've never given you an accurate measurement of meritocracy. Never. Because we've seen people who have years of experience fail at their job. And we've seen people that don't have any experience excel. So where is the measurement? Where is the average? Can't tell us. And it would have been smarter for them to do that instead of saying, oh, here was a mess up. You're DEI. How long you been with this company? You only been there 2 years. You're DEI. You can't measure experience until you work. Look what they did with Costco. They sat there and said their board of directors, all of them, they're talking about they DEI. And all you motherfuckers be working on all in these big old companies. For 20 years, some. They're DEI. Yes, Kara. I'm willing to learn and grow. You say that in any interview, they'll push you. You'll either get the job or you'll be a strong consideration. Can't even tell you. They can't even do that. Whatever, man. So how y'all feel about Vivek? This apology tour has been awful. Vivek, you got to go talk to people in your state. Trust me, Yost and them are not going to sit up there. Yost and them are not going to sit up there and run to streamers. They're going to be in them towns talking to folk. Mr. Chris, thank you for the $2 super chat. That's a blessing. By 2029, MAGA is going to capitalize itself. It's already happening. They're making the videos right now why I left MAGA. Let me look. Maybe they started already. Let me look.
Oh man, what do we say? Let me get you a good chair.
Let me see. Shit. I can predict all this, but I can't hit the lotto. Do y'all see this? Didn't I tell y'all the shit was coming? Look at this. And these are some big channels. Look at this one. Well, that's Midas Touch, but look, this woman said it. Called it. They starting already. 1 month. He might be trolling, but we'll see. MAGA realized left-wingers were right all along. Well, that's Kyle Kalinske. He's an asshole. Let me look. Sort by... We'll look this month. Let's see. Why I left MAGA and I'm trying to save my family from Trump. That was crazy. Why MAGA influencer turned on Trump? Taylor Lorenz. So he was a MAGA influencer. They're kicking people out of pubs for wearing a MAGA hat in Australia. We doing this again? But that's crazy. So this dude is going to be the catalyst. I used to be a MAGA influencer. Let me look.
What's up, guys? Welcome back.
I might have to break this down one day. Let me see. I'm finally addressing it. I used to be a MAGA influencer. Over time, my views shifted, but a lot stayed the same. Video breaks down why I can no longer align myself with the Donald Trump's MAGA movement and why I'm now truly independent. You could have been... Look at the dislikes. Oh, how much you want to bet we go in that comment thread? They're going to say he a whole trader. You wasn't really MAGA. Let's see. Well, it's actually shocking that they're actually supporting him on this. I figured the MAGA bots would have showed up already talking about you crap. Gays for Trump. Biden did nothing positive for years. Okay. I hope to see you challenge Trump from a moderate viewpoint. So he voted for Kamami. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He voted for Kamami. Okay. Patrick Tyler, hello. Trump isn't perfect. He has a lot of things you accuse him of, but voting for the empty pantsuit who was just a tool for the giant Democrat machine is actually crazy to me. Okay. If you think the left wants open borders, you're crazy. But, yeah. You let them do that. All right. But there's that. And you know that's a white ass name. Clarkson Lawson. Jesus. That's a white name, boy. Don't never trust nobody with two last names. But anyway, I'm finna get up out of here. Enjoy the rest of my evening. You enjoy the rest of your evening. Be out there, be productive. And it's Friday. It's the last day of the month. Hump something. I don't know. Anyway, y'all. Y'all take care, stay safe, stay warm, and you know what to do when the agents of chaos come to mess up your existence.